There's a quiet strength in walking alone. When a woman chooses to live without boyfriends, society often questions her, misunderstands her, or even pities her. But behind this choice lies a story, not of loneliness, but of power, freedom, and self-discovery. Let's step into her world and see what it truly means to walk this independent path. Living independently without boyfriends is not a sign of lack, but rather a bold declaration of self-sufficiency. For many women who choose this path, life becomes a canvas they can paint without compromise. They wake up each day with the freedom to make decisions that are solely their own. There is no waiting for someone else's approval, no adjusting dreams to fit into another person's schedule, no sacrificing personal desires to keep a relationship afloat. Every choice, every step is made with complete ownership, and that is where her power begins. Managing life independently teaches her to handle both the smallest details and the biggest challenges without relying on anyone else to fix things for her. From managing finances, maintaining her home, traveling alone, and handling unexpected obstacles, she faces it all with a quiet strength. This life doesn't allow her to lean on another person for emotional rescue or daily support. She learns to trust herself deeply, to know that she can stand firm even when life feels heavy. It's not about proving something to the world. It's about becoming fully capable in her own eyes, without the emotional entanglements that often come with romantic attachments. She finds the space to build herself. She becomes her own provider, her own motivator, her own problem solver. Instead of waiting for someone to plan adventures or solve her struggles, she steps up and does it for herself. This doesn't mean she lives without love or connection. It means she's not dependent on a boyfriend to feel complete or worthy. She fills her life with meaningful friendships, strong family ties, and sometimes even deep spiritual connections that ground her in something bigger than herself. A woman living without boyfriends often faces questions, raised eyebrows, and sometimes unsolicited advice. Society, at times, struggles to understand how a woman can thrive on her own terms. But what they miss is that she's not rejecting love, she's embracing freedom. She's not closing her heart. She's choosing to give it to people and pursuits that align with her deeper purpose. She invests her time in learning, growing, and becoming someone she can admire. She builds a life where her happiness doesn't depend on someone showing up for her. She is already there for herself every day, in every way. She stands tall because she has built a foundation that cannot easily be shaken. Self-sufficiency becomes not just a lifestyle, but a quiet revolution, one where a woman proves, mostly to herself, that she is already enough. Living alone without boyfriends offers a woman a unique kind of freedom, a freedom that is both external and deeply internal. It is not just about having her own space or controlling her daily schedule. It's about experiencing a profound sense of inner peace that many people spend years searching for. In a world where relationships can often bring emotional highs and lows, moments of confusion, and sometimes even heartbreak, she steps away from that cycle and chooses the calm instead. There is a beautiful silence in her life, one that is not empty, but full of clarity, stability, and self-connection, without the constant emotional noise that often comes with romantic involvement. She finds herself living in harmony with her own thoughts. There is no second guessing whether she's good enough, no anxiety about whether someone will leave or stay, no waiting for text messages or the next phone call. Her days are not built around someone else's attention or affection. Instead, they are built around what truly matters to her. In this peaceful space, she finds her own rhythm. She chooses what excites her, what calms her, and what pushes her forward. This freedom is not about rejecting love. It's about experiencing life without the weight of unnecessary emotional turbulence. Many people think that without a romantic partner, life becomes dull or lonely. But for her, it becomes clear and fully her own. There is freedom in eating what she wants without compromise, traveling where she dreams without waiting for someone to join her, and building routines that serve her growth. There is no pressure to perform, to change, or to shrink herself to fit someone else's expectations. She is exactly who she is without needing to explain or adjust. Inner peace is not always guaranteed, even for those who live alone. But she actively chooses it every day. She protects it by saying no to situations that disturb her calm. She has time to sit with her thoughts, to heal from past experiences, to truly know herself. This stillness allows her to connect to her spiritual side, to find purpose beyond human relationships. Whether it's through prayer, mindfulness, or simply quiet moments of reflection, she discovers a richness within her own soul. People may assume that her life lacks excitement or that she's missing out on love, but the love she experiences is a different kind. It's the love of freedom, the love of self, trust, the love of living a life that isn't dependent on another person's presence. Her peace is her power, and her freedom is her joy. She moves through life with light steps, carrying no extra emotional weight, simply because she has learned that sometimes peace is the greatest love story of all. Choosing to live alone without boyfriends often places a woman in direct conflict with societal expectations. In many cultures, there's a deeply rooted belief that a woman's life should naturally include romantic relationships, marriage, and eventually a family. When she walks a different path, one that doesn't involve boyfriends or romantic commitments, people begin to question her. They wonder if she's hiding heartbreak, if she's too picky, or if she's afraid of love. The truth is often simpler and more powerful. She is choosing herself, but the world doesn't always know how to accept that. The pressure can be subtle or overwhelming. It can come in the form of concerned family members, friends who can't understand her choices, or even the quiet comparisons to others who are following more traditional roads. Sometimes society speaks through teasing comments, well-meant advice, or the unspoken assumption that she must be lonely. These messages can creep into her mind, especially during family gatherings, weddings, or holidays where she's expected to bring someone with her. In those moments, she may feel the sharp sting of isolation, even if she is fully content in her daily life. Loneliness is a feeling she occasionally faces, not because she is missing someone, but because she is swimming against the current of what is considered normal. There are days when the silence is heavier, when seeing couples in public or hearing stories about relationships makes her wonder if she's missing out. The weight of that silence can sometimes create brief moments of doubt, but those moments never last long because she remembers why she chose this life. Her loneliness isn't about craving a boyfriend. It's about occasionally wishing the world would understand her. She doesn't want to be fixed or set up or constantly reminded of what she doesn't have. She wants to be accepted as she is, respected for her choice to build a life centered on herself, her passions, and her inner peace. Societal pressure can feel like a quiet background noise that never fully disappears, but she has learned to tune it out. She surrounds herself with people who celebrate her, not question her. She leans into friendships that offer real connection, people who see her whole and complete without needing her to be in a relationship to prove her worth. The occasional loneliness she feels is temporary, but the freedom she gains is lasting. Over time, she learns that living on her own terms may confuse some, but it deeply satisfies her. The approval she once wanted from others fades in importance because she now holds the only approval that matters, her own. When a woman chooses to live without boyfriends, it doesn't mean she lives without connection. In fact, she often builds some of the most genuine and lasting relationships in her life. Her support circle becomes a critical part of her world, a family she chooses, not just one she's born into. Friends, siblings, parents, and even mentors play vital roles in creating a network of love and support that doesn't depend on romance. These connections are usually stronger, purer, and more stable because they are not tied to fleeting attraction or the ups and downs of romantic expectations. The friendships she nurtures are deep and meaningful. They are not background relationships waiting to be replaced by a boyfriend. They are the main characters in her story. She has time to pour into her friends, to be present, to genuinely care without distraction. She becomes the kind of friend who shows up, listens carefully, and gives her best energy to the people she values. In return, she is surrounded by people who offer her the same. These are bonds built on mutual respect, loyalty, and shared growth. They provide emotional warmth and companionship in ways that often last longer than many romantic relationships. Family becomes another strong pillar in her life. Whether she's close to her parents, siblings, cousins, or even extended relatives, she finds comfort and belonging in these family ties. She can spend more quality time with her family because her life is not divided by the demands of a boyfriend. She becomes an active part of family celebrations, challenges, and milestones. Her independence doesn't isolate her. It brings her closer to those who truly matter, creating stronger family roots that support her when life gets difficult. Sometimes she also builds community in places many overlook. She may develop close bonds with colleagues, neighbors, or people who share her hobbies and passions. These are people who grow with her over time, who provide valuable companionship and a sense of belonging that doesn't revolve around romance. She may become involved in volunteer work, faith communities, or social groups where she connects with others through shared purpose. Her support circle is not a substitute for romantic love. It's a conscious choice to create a life filled with authentic connections. She understands that love comes in many forms and that the love of friends, family, and community can be just as fulfilling, sometimes even more stable than a boyfriend's affection. She values the people who walk beside her, who understand her life choices, who never make her feel incomplete for living life differently. In this circle, she finds laughter, comfort, and emotional safety, proving that a rich, connected life is possible without the presence of romance. When a woman lives without boyfriends, she often finds herself with the rare gift of uninterrupted time and focus which she can fully invest in her personal growth and ambitions. Without the emotional demands, compromises, and distractions that sometimes come with romantic relationships, she can prioritize her dreams without feeling torn between love and self-development. This path allows her to pour her energy into building a life she's proud of, one that is driven by her own goals, curiosity, and the desire to become the best version of herself. Her career often becomes a central part of her journey, not because she's trying to replace love, but because she has the space to fully dedicate herself to her work. She can take risks, chase promotions, explore new fields, or even start her own business without worrying about balancing her ambitions with someone else's needs. She invests in learning, sharpening her skills, and expanding her knowledge. Her success is her own, and she feels a deep sense of pride in knowing that she built it from the ground up without relying on anyone else to make it happen. Beyond her career, She has the freedom to pursue hobbies and passions that make her feel alive. She can travel spontaneously, dive into creative projects, or commit to lifelong learning. Whether it's painting, writing, studying, or practicing a sport, she embraces these activities as meaningful parts of her life, not just as a way to pass time. She invests in her physical health, emotional well-being, and sometimes even her spiritual development because she has the time and mental clarity to truly focus on herself. Her ambition is not only limited to external success. She often works on becoming emotionally stronger, wiser, and more self-aware. She sets personal challenges, confronts her fears, and does the difficult inner work to heal from past experiences. She doesn't need a boyfriend to complete her. Instead, she focuses on completing herself through her own growth. Her independence sharpens her ability to rely on herself, to set boundaries, and to understand her own worth. This growth journey also allows her to give back to the world in meaningful ways. She may become a mentor, a leader, or a source of inspiration for others who are also learning to walk their own paths. Her life becomes proof that fulfillment doesn't have to come from romance. It can come from purpose, from passion, from building something that truly matters. She moves forward with confidence, knowing that she is not waiting for anyone to save her, to guide her, or to make her life meaningful. She is fully capable of shaping her own story, and every step she takes is a step toward a life that is entirely her own creation. Emotional resilience becomes one of the most powerful qualities a woman develops when she lives without boyfriends. It's not something she is simply born with. It's something she builds moment by moment through life's experiences and the quiet lessons of solitude. When she faces challenges, she doesn't have the comfort of leaning on a romantic partner to carry her through. Instead, she learns to become her own safe space, her own emotional anchor. This self-reliance doesn't mean she is cold or detached. It means she has discovered her own inner strength and the ability to handle life's storms with grace. There are times when life can feel heavy. She may go through financial struggles, career setbacks, family pressures, or emotional lows. In those moments, she realizes that waiting for someone to come and fix everything is not the solution. She picks herself up, sometimes slowly, sometimes painfully, but always with determination. She becomes skilled at managing her emotions, processing pain, and finding ways to comfort herself. She develops healthy coping mechanisms, whether it's through journaling, prayer, meditation, exercise, or simply allowing herself to feel without judgment. Her emotional resilience also means that she learns how to set boundaries and protect her peace. When people try to impose their opinions on her life or question her choices, she stands firm. She doesn't bend to meet others' expectations just to avoid conflict or gain approval. She knows what she needs, what she values, and what she will no longer tolerate. This ability to protect herself emotionally becomes one of her greatest assets, allowing her to move through life with confidence and security. While she may still experience sadness, loneliness, or moments of self-doubt, she no longer fears these emotions. Instead, she understands that they are temporary and manageable. She doesn't crumble when things go wrong because she trusts her ability to get through hard times. She has faced emotional disappointments, and instead of becoming bitter or closed off, she has become stronger and more compassionate toward herself. Her resilience is what allows her to keep moving forward, to try new things, to take risks without fear of failure. She doesn't wait for someone to tell her she's strong. She already knows. Her strength comes from within, shaped by the life she's chosen and the lessons she's embraced. Emotional resilience doesn't mean she never needs anyone. It simply means that her foundation is solid enough to stand alone when needed. She faces the world not as someone who is fragile, but as someone who has built a quiet, unshakable power within herself. In the end, a woman who chooses to live alone without boyfriends isn't defined by what society thinks she's missing. She is defined by what she has courageously built. Her life is a beautiful reflection of independence, inner peace, strong connections, personal ambition, and emotional strength. She is not waiting to be completed, she is already whole. Her journey may not follow the traditional path, but it is rich, fulfilling, and deeply authentic. She teaches us that happiness isn't something we must find in others. It's something we can create within ourselves. And sometimes, the most powerful love story is the one we write with our own hearts for our own lives.